Good evening, everybody. So glad you came tonight to celebrate 50 years, well, 50 plus 1 years of Young Life in Cleveland. I have it on good information, good authority, that 1970, there were a group of adults and churches who gathered together and said, we need some way to reach kids who are not coming to church. And you landed on Young Life. And I'm so grateful. And Pete Weaver filled his van up with guitars and various and sundry items. A young Pete Weaver did. And he hustled down from Pittsburgh over to Cleveland. And thus Young Life began there. And boy, what a different time it was. We weren't singing T. Swift at that time. We were singing Sweet Caroline and Caroline on My Mind. And who knows, maybe you heard it through the grapevine or Long and Winding Road or Into the Mystic. Boy, it was 1970, a lot going on at that point in time. And kids then were meeting Jesus, and they were going to camps like Windy Gap or Saranac, and having a time of their lives, maybe even driving clear out to Frontier. And now today, they're going to places like Timberwolf Lake or Rockbridge or other camps with Young Life around the country, continuing to meet the Lord. And though times have changed a lot from 1970 to now, things haven't changed as well. In fact, I heard back then that Tom Hammond would eat goldfish every time that club topped 100. And today, I think Alex has stated that he'll do the same thing. So Alex, get ready. We're coming out of COVID. Let's get up over 100 and let's start eating some goldfish, man. This is just an awesome thing. For as much as changed over the last 50 plus 1 years, there's some things that haven't changed, and that's this. Staff and volunteer leaders going into the lives of kids, earning the right to be heard, loving them for who they are with the love of God, God's unfailing love, and earning the right to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, inviting them to respond to that gospel, but walking in friendship regardless of their response, because they are made in God's image and loved by Him. The other thing that hadn't changed are stakeholders like many of you, churches, adults, in the lives of kids, on committee, supporting this work. We couldn't do it without you. Young Life at its best 50 years ago, 80 years ago, when we started, and even today is a volunteer movement, reaching kids but changing a community and inviting a community to be on mission to reach kids for Jesus. I want to ask you, there's a bunch of you in the room right now. Raise your hand if you were a Young Life kid impacted by Young Life 50 years ago, 40, 30, 20, or maybe just recent. Raise your hand high right now if you've been impacted by Young Life as a kid. Now you can put them down. What I want to say to you is we're staying true to that. We're staying true to that. A leader and a kid with Jesus in the middle. That's who we are, introducing young people to Him and helping them grow in their faith. Not just in Cleveland and all of Ohio, all 50 states of the United States, and over 105 countries around the world, and growing. Thank you for your yes to the Lord Jesus, serving Him in and through Young Life. You will not be sad or ashamed on that great day when you see Him. God bless you. Thank you, and keep going.